Welcome, everybody. Thank you for joining this session about proactive threat prevention. I am Santiago Basset, the founder of Wazuh, and I'm going to talk about how we can detect misconfigurations, how we can detect vulnerable software that may be running in our environment, how we can improve our security posture in general, and detect attacks and respond to those attacks in a short period of time automatically using Wazuh. For this session today, I have prepared like 3 different sections, a little overview about the Wazuh platform, as well what are the SOC use cases for the product. Also, we'll talk about some of the capabilities and features related to IT hygiene and posture management, and we'll do a little live demo. I hope you like it. It's a little attack where an attacker will compromise a system by deploying a shadow IT, in this case, a vulnerable version of any desk, and we'll also disable the firewall of the system, and we'll see how Wazuh can detect and respond to those kind of threats. Regarding Wazuh, many of you probably already know it. If you don't, I wanted to let you know it's completely free and open source platform that unifies a number of security capabilities, specifically security and event management capabilities, as well as XDR, extended detection and response capabilities. As you can see here, it can help you protect your endpoints. It can also help you protect your cloud workloads. It comes with a feed of native threat intelligence. And of course, is widely used by security operation centers and SOC analysts all over the world. Specifically, regarding, I want to highlight the open source nature of the project. You have complete access to the source code, meaning it's flexible. You can adapt it to your needs if you need it. You can audit the source code, which is kind of important considering the number of supply chain attacks that are going on. And also you can contribute to the project, and there is a lot of contributors already who I want to thank as well. It's a community-driven project. We have a program for ambassadors, hundreds of ambassadors already, and we have different community channels, Slack, Discord, Reddit, Google groups, different community channels that you can join. I'll show you later how to join those channels. Regarding the platform, it heavily relies on a universal security agent that can be deployed to workstations, servers, cloud instances, VMs, even Docker containers. The agent is completely multi-platform. It runs on Windows, Linux, macOS, and also legacy operating or legacy. I mean, some of you may have those systems already or still in place, AIX, Solaris, HPUX. The agent footprint is very minimal. It's been designed to be very lightweight, and it is in charge of collecting security telemetry from the endpoint where the agent is running, and also can automatically respond to threats when threats are detected. So the agent does a number of things. It's the central piece of the whole platform. There are also central components that are important as well. We call them the manager, the indexer, the dashboard. You can imagine what those are. The indexer is to index historical alerts data, so you can search it, navigate it, and query it in different ways. The manager component is mostly used to deploy threat intelligence from a central component to the agents. It's also used to configure the agents remotely, to upgrade the agents remotely. And the dashboard is basically the UI. As I said, there are a number of, and we're putting a lot of effort into developing our threat intelligence feed. There is content that we already deliver to every installation all over the world, like, for example, a CVE, vulnerabilities database, IOCs, the rule set, decoders, rules, and other things to detect threats. Deployment options, you can deploy the platform on-prem, you can deploy it in the cloud, you can even use the Wazuh Cloud Service, which is a software as a service offering that we offer. And there are a number of APIs that can be used to talk to the tool in order to get information about the alerts, to do integrations with external threat intelligence feeds, or integrations with other applications in general. These APIs are used also by AI agents if they need to. There are MCP projects that have been developed by our community contributors as well. Many of those things are available. So it's a very open ecosystem. And of course, last but not least, we have adopted a number of frameworks and regulations to basically help different use cases. For example, people looking to comply with PCI DSS or SOC 2 can use the tool to get a feeling on how are they doing with the different requirements of those regulations. And also we have deeply integrated into the tool the MITRE attack framework. So users can easily navigate through different tactics and techniques and see what of those techniques are being used to attack their environment. And here we go. The little live demo is gonna show you how an attacker basically deploys any desk via PowerShell and disables the local firewall. There are a number of threat indicators that Wazuh will, of course, discover, and automatic responses that will be triggered by the Wazuh manager in order to mitigate these threats. That's pretty much it. I'm gonna jump into the Wazuh UI really quick. First of all, this is a demo environment. It has a number of agents deployed, most of them Linux. There is this agent here that's a Windows Server 2025, and this is the one that I'm going to use to demo the attack. Okay, as you can see here, it's running with this IP address. I think this is an EC2 instance somewhere. One of my colleagues helped me prepare this demo. So I'm gonna now share the Windows UI. Let me see. There we go. You should be seeing a Windows system. That's so you can double check this is the same box. And here I have a little PowerShell script that I'm gonna run. It is very descriptive on what it does. So we'll see, and the font size is very big, so you will be able to see what it is doing. The first thing it does, it downloads a vulnerable version of AnyDesk 5.4.2 to the system. It just downloaded it, took a while. Okay, now we can see under download section, this AnyDesk version of the product has been just downloaded. The time zone is not the same, but it has been just downloaded. Let's continue. The next thing it's gonna do is gonna install the remote access tool. And it's going to disable the firewall in different ways, using the set net firewall profile command and also altering the registry keys for the firewall. So it remains disabled. Here we can see the firewall has been disabled. We can also see if I go to the services window, we will be able to see AnyDesk, I think somewhere here. I have to refresh. Yeah, AnyDesk service is running. So AnyDesk is being installed, the firewall is being disabled, and now the next thing is going to happen, and this is automatically triggered by Wazuh, and not is I've been disconnected from the RDP session. I actually modified the response to the threat to give me a few seconds, so you could see a little more, but basically it disconnected me pretty much immediately after the attack. Next thing, I'm gonna go back to the Wazuh UI really quick. Let's see. Okay. There we go. So just to remember you, what I did here, I checked my agents. I clicked on the Windows agent, so that means that I'm now specifically monitoring one of my endpoints, which is this Windows agent. There are multiple ways I can see what's going on with this endpoint in particular, and there are also dashboards that I can use to get an overview of what is going on in my environment in general. In particular with this endpoint, let's start with this endpoint. And I was mentioning before, the MITRE attack framework is one of the things we use. It's very, very cool because if I filter here for example, last 15 minutes, I can see, and I'm going to hide all the techniques with no alerts. I can see all the techniques that actually have alerts related to them. For example, one of the techniques from MITRE is disable or modify a system firewall. This is technique 1562. And I can see an event that took place a few minutes ago here saying the Windows firewall has been disabled by a PowerShell. More specifically, the PowerShell command is there. I can also see details like what was the user that this executed this command. So this is interesting. And more details specifically about the technique can be found here. I'm going to show you that with another technique here. For example, remote access software, right? So this is Shadow IT detected any desk remote access service installed. And again, here is the detail of the service that was installed. As I've said, the technique details can be found here. More specifically, this technique 1219 is a remote access software, and you can see how malicious actors use tools like TeamViewer, for example, to compromise or to attack different environments. So this description of the actors and what kind of tools used. This coming from MITRE, so it's something that we have implemented in the UI. More interesting things that we can take a look at, and one of the things that I like a lot is the IT hygiene. IT hygiene allows me, the IT hygiene dashboard allows me to see things like, for example, what software is installed, what processes are running, what are the network connections that are active, what are the services that are running, all these kind of things. So we're going to start with the software and see if we can find here our AnyDesk. No, it's the package name. Let's see. I think I ordered this. Let me reset the view here. AnyDesk is here, as you can see. So this, and the reason why it took me a while to actually find it is because there's a lot of packages here. I could also search here under name and see, okay, I want to search AnyDesk is here, and that would basically filter this package. Another thing, as I was saying, is processes. Is there any process running somehow named AnyDesk? And of course it is. Here run a couple processes. Is there any network connection going on? Let's take a look, or network traffic. There are a few from this system, and as you can see, AnyDesk is actually connected to this public IP, which happens to be anydesk.com. I actually checked it because I didn't know what was going on here, but there's anydesk.com. So AnyDesk is talking to anydesk.com. Listeners, another interesting thing is what services are open here, what services are listening. And again, by ordering my process name, I can see there is a socket listening for network connections, TCP socket, AnyDesk on port 77, and also listening on UDP port 50,001. You know, these kind of things. Just so you know, we keep track also of users in the system, services. As I showed you before, there is a service also, AnyDesk somewhere. A lot of services. Here it is. This is the details for this particular service here. So this is in regards to IT hygiene. Let me show you more things here. For example, vulnerable software. I can see vulnerabilities under vulnerability detection for this particular endpoint. There is inventory of vulnerabilities where I can see, for example, a lot of them regarding Google Chrome, which is probably not patched. But also, I don't know if any of this is going to show up here. No, not here for some reason. Let me see. Oh, here it is. So here is the details of CVE from 2021 affecting this version of AnyDesk. One thing that we provide, and many of you may not know about it, you may know about Wazuh as the product, but we also provide this CTI platform where anybody can search more information about a CVE. This is publicly available, and I think it's pretty useful. It links actually to different providers in case you want to take a look. It links to the NVD in this case, but this is directly linked here. So showing a little bit more details about that particular vulnerability. And one thing I wanted to show you, the dashboard. Here for the shop, which is kind of a more generic view of what's going on. This has been limited to 15 minutes and also limited to this particular endpoint. That's why we only see activity related to the demo, to the attack demo. So PowerShell terminal open, a vulnerable package has been detected, a file was downloaded. So it's been, as you can see, it's been detected by different modules from the agent. Shadow IT detected, network connections are listed here. I can even see, for some reason, it's locating me on the East Coast. I'm on the West Coast, so I think that's strange. I can see the automated remediations. This is important. Automated remediations. The Wazuh platform automatically triggered an active response to terminate the RDP session and automatically restore the firewall settings. And I forgot to show you this, the security configuration assessment module and capabilities. I'm going to show you this really quick here under configuration assessment for these Windows. And remember, I'm just showing you the information from one of the endpoints. This Windows system, we provide a CIS, a Center of Internet Security benchmark. This is coming from an entity called Center of Internet Security. And basically, we implemented a tool or a module that actually checks the configuration of this system, of the Windows Server 2025. You can see this score is very poor, very poor. It only passed 104 checks out of almost 400. So it's scoring 26% of configuration. That means that a lot of things are not configured properly in the system in a secure way, according to CIS recommendation. If I search here for firewall, for example, I can see, let's check this one check here that says it passed. It says ensure the Windows firewall is set to on, is connected. So it's enabled, I'm sorry. This is the rationale about the check, the remediation. What is it checked? It's basically checking 3 registry keys here. And that's pretty much it. This is passed, but a lot of these checks are failed, meaning that, for example, there's no login configured properly. There's no domain for inbound connections. I don't know a lot about the Windows firewall, but there's a lot of things that need to be checked here because a lot of things are not configured according to CIS benchmarks. And let me see what else I wanted to show you. I think that's pretty much it. One thing, I'm going to go back here to the slides. One thing that I want to mention is you guys can participate with the community, contribute to the project if you want. At this point, we have hundreds of thousands of installations that are reporting as active all over the world. Some of them are very small home labs. Some of them are large corporations that also rely on the tool. It's free. It's open source. You can ask questions to our team or to the contributors or the community in our different channels. Feel free to join us anytime, and we'll be happy to help you.
So I have a couple Jason questions for Santiago because you're here and I get a chance to talk with you. What has it been like starting a company from scratch, from the very beginning to what it looks like now over the last couple of years?
Well, the project started 10 years ago, 11 years ago, so it's getting old already. We keep releasing more and more versions of the product and improving and adapting to new use cases and trying to implement new security controls. So it's continuously changing. I was lucky to start with a small team of very talented people that helped me at the very beginning to develop the first few versions of the product. We immediately saw traction coming from the OSSEC community because, by the way, I didn't mention it. Some of you may be old enough to know OSSEC as I am. And OSSEC was very popular years ago. It's still popular and it's still in use. It's a host-based IDS agent that we decided to fork. And we started by forking another open source project and improving and implementing new features on top of it. That was the very beginning. Now I think the technology has changed quite a lot. It has little to do with OSSEC anymore, but a lot of those features and capabilities initially came from the OSSEC project. So that was I think a good idea to fork the project because a lot of OSSEC users ended up contributing to the project and helping us create what Wazuh is today. The company, if you're asking at this point, I think we are a little over 230 people, but there are, many more people outside of Wazuh as a company that is contributing to the project as well. And if you see social media, most of the content around it is not actually coming from us. It's coming from the community, which is great, I think.
Somebody wants to know where did the name Wazuh come from?
There are a number of things. I actually, being completely honest with you, I thought about a number of things, and I did a poll between family and friends. They were saying, "Okay, I like this one, I like that one." This one sounds like WhatsApp. There is also a little at the beginning. We included it was a fox that was the logo of and there is a fox in Argentina. That's the WhatsApp, the WhatsApp fox. So that was it. We really liked it and we went for it.
Nice. Last question I have for you is someone has a goal in the next 18 months to start their own company that does SOC services and pen test services for small companies. Are they able to use Wazuh as a tool for that kind of service for others?
Of course, yeah. Many SOC MDR services providers are already relying on it. They don't need to be a customer or pay for anything. If they want to pay for professional support with SLAs and all that stuff, that's great. But they don't need to. They can rely on the community support. They can use the free open source version of Wazuh. They can deploy it in their own cloud, provide it as a service to their customers, or deploy it on-prem, whatever they want, they can deploy it to the customers. There's no limits on how you can use the product. You can use it however you want for whatever you want. The licenses are Apache 2.0 and GPL 2.0, depending on the component. There are a couple of open source licenses, but they are very permissive in terms of using it. The only thing about GPL is that if you modify the source code, I think certain parts of the source code you may need to publish those modifications. That's the only thing. But in terms of using it, you can deploy it anywhere and use it for whatever you want.
I have one more question, and when we first discovered Wazuh, and I think John did a webcast on it and things like that a few years ago, is that you keep this free. And so since you keep this free, like we were like, well, we got to put it on backdoors and breaches cards. Like we wanted more people to know about this. So why did you want to make this free? Like what about this tool that Santiago wants to keep free?
I think first of all, I think it's the best way to do security tools because being open source is more transparent. And if I was a user, I kind of want to see what I'm deploying to my systems. Especially, there are situations. Do I trust this vendor? Is this supply chain? So being open source is flexible, it's powerful. I don't know. I've always worked with open source projects, so I cannot think of any other way of doing things. And I think there are different ways to monetize. At this point, we're selling our SaaS offering, we're selling professional support. If people is interested in those we're selling training courses, by the way. But there is no need to charge for software licenses, I don't think. And there is no need to hide the source code from anybody.